Welcome to With Love, a podcast that celebrates people, purpose, selfless intent, and quiet acts of kindness. This year, as With Love NGO completes 10 years of Seva, we wanted to pause and say thank you, not with applause, but with stories. Today's conversation is with someone who holds space every single day, shaping minds, nurturing confidence, and quietly changing futures through education. Joining me today is Miss Sangeeta Kadam, a third generation educationist and the principal of Epiphany School. For her, education is not merely a profession, it is a vocation, something she lives, breathes, and loves with all her heart. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Dimple.
Okay, I want first of all for all the people who don't know about you and don't know about the school, I want you to highlight something about Epiphany School and the children it serves.
Okay, so basically Epiphany School, it existed much before 1904, somewhere around 1849. It was established that time by the nuns, especially for the elite lot.
Okay.
And the Latin and French was their second and third language.
Wow.
Yes. And then they realized that the area where we are located,
Yes.
you cannot run a school for the elite lot. So they closed down Epiphany School in 1904.
Okay.
And they started a Marathi medium school for the underprivileged.
Okay.
And somewhere along the line, my mother was a principal of St. Hilda's, the Marathi medium school. And she thought, why not revive Epiphany again? And that's how it was revived. And in 2001, I took over the school and it was meant for the underprivileged children. And when I took over, we had around 150 children.
Yeah.
And it was from nursery to standard 4.
Okay. But today you're a full-fledged
Yes,
school. We've been working right up till 10th grade.
Yes,
So how did that happen?
So when I took over, my first assignment was to work towards getting our approval for the high school.
Acha.
And
Got it.
I had to work quite hard for that.
Of course, it's not an
By
easy
the
feat.
end of 2001, we had got an approval to start a high school.
Oh, wow.
And then slowly classes grew.
Yeah.
Like every year we added one class.
Correct. And can you share a little bit about the background from where these kids come?
So most of the children come from the slum area, which is right behind the school, Lohia Nagar Chopatpatti.
Yeah.
Then we have a lot of children who come from Parvati area.
Okay.
We have children whose parents are, earning daily wages.
Yeah.
Either, they are into house help or like a watchman, driver, those kind of children.
Children. Okay. What motivated you? Why did you think this is what you want to do? How did this become your purpose? It's a very big thing.
Yes. Oh, that's a long story.
We have the time.
I'm the third generation.
Yeah.
And my mother was from that orphanage. So we have an orphanage also.
Yeah.
Under the Society of St. Mary the Virgin. She was from that orphanage. She studied there. She went on to become a teacher there and then a principal. We were fortunate enough to study at St. Mary's.
Yeah.
And she had only one question for me as to what I could do for the society. And the only way I could help the society was to step in and help
Continue the legacy.
Continue the legacy. Yes.
But I know it's easier said than done. You could have said no. You could have said that it's not my calling. It may have been yours. But there must be some solid heart of yours that said, no, I will do this and I will dedicate my entire life to it.
So I grew up with the nuns at the convent.
Wow.
So I have seen the nuns, their sacrifice, the hard work that they put in, and somewhere I was influenced by what the nuns were doing.
Yeah, right.
So I always had that heart of service in
Yes.
me.
Yes.
And maybe my mother just ensured that she motivated me.
Yeah. She sowed the seeds.
She sowed the seed for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It was always
meant
there.
well.
And she just kind of pushed me.
Yes.
And like you very rightly said, yes, I wasn't interested in teaching. And she actually convinced me. She said, this B.Ed degree is just as a backup.
Okay.
You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to become a teacher like me. This is just a backup degree. Just finish with your B.Ed. And I did that. I was very lucky enough that I got a job in St. Helena's. That was my first assignment.
Wow.
And I think there something changed.
Explain.
Okay, so so I was teaching grade 5.
Huh.
Being a first job, I was, completely into it. I wanted to ensure that, I do full justice.
Absolutely.
And I was a maths teacher. And what we had learned was every day you have to solve 5 sums. So I would give homework to the students like that. And one of the boarders, she went and complained to the principal that I am giving extra work and being burdened by it.
Okay.
And I was called to the principal's office and pulled up for doing this.
Okay.
I was a little hurt and upset because according to me, I was doing a great job.
Right.
And I was very, very upset. So I thought I will spend time and talk to this child as to why did she complain about me. Because as such, the entire class doted over me. They loved my teaching. And I always thought that even this girl liked me.
Yeah.
And it was quite a shock to know that this girl has gone and complained. So when I sat with her and I spoke to her, I realized that there was a lot of hatred in her. The reason was I looked exactly like her mother. And she said, my parents are separated. My mother in the court, when she took custody of me, she said, I will take care of my daughter. And she put me in the boarding school and she rarely comes to meet me. And she said, you look exactly like her.
Oh my God, that triggered her.
And she was quite vocal about it. And she said, I hate you. And I think that was a changing point when I realized that whether you're teaching in a low-income group school or a high-income group school, children come with a baggage.
Yeah.
And very often we teachers just, understand them on the basis of marks. And marks are given a lot of importance.
Yes.
And there is much more to it than that.
Of course.
And that's what changed my entire outlook towards education. And I decided I will continue my career in it.
Wow. So she actually turned out to be a catalyst.
Absolutely.
Today, when you turn back and see.
I actually thank that girl. I don't know where she is, but I really thank her.
My God, this is... I have goosebumps. Like, I don't know how to carry forward this conversation right now. But that's a beautiful story. And I've worked with you from so many years, but we've never spoken about this.
Right.
So I'm so glad this has happened on the podcast, honestly. As an educationist and as a leader, what is the larger vision that you hold for these kids?
I basically want to see all my students well placed in life. Yes, and not just with good jobs, but even as good human beings. Because my stress has always been on being a good human being.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, marks, the kind of job you have or the kind of money you earn,
that's not going to matter.
That's not going to matter. It's how you are and how you treat others.
Yes.
And it's something which I follow myself.
Yes.
So I ensure that I speak the same way with a nursery child and the same way with a 10th standard kid. I mean, with that same amount of love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes?
And I've seen you affected when they're affected.
Yes.
I've walked into school and your mood is off on a particular day, and it's because some child is really going through something really terrible in their lives, and that's like their pain is your pain.
Yes.
And I want you to tell us a bit about, so academics is one thing that you handle for the kids up front. What are the other challenges that they face or you as a school need help for?
Oh, we need help for a lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of students face problems when it comes to paying fees. Because they do have financial issues and they are not to be blamed.
Absolutely.
But very often we pull up the children for not paying their fees on time. Especially just before the terminal exam and final exam. And it's not right because it's not their mistake.
And it's not their pressure to take.
Exactly. But sometimes we have to send the message to the parents through the kids, which I sometimes don't like it, but then we have to do it. And I even understand there are times when parents are just unable to pay, but they want their children to do well in life because they don't want their children to lead the same kind of life.
Yes.
So finances is one, especially sponsoring students' fees. Secondly, because these children come from the low income group, lot of them face physical abuse at home. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, and they carry that baggage to school. And then for them, abusing one another or hitting one another is something very normal.
Because I think what you learn and see and grow up with, that is your normal.
Yes.
Right?
So it's very normal for them.
Yeah.
And then to try and make them understand that this is not right, it's a tough job for the teachers.
Yeah, yeah.
And the teachers then struggle because then, your teaching time is gone into trying to rectify these kids.
Yeah.
So we would like help even on that front.
Yeah.
Maybe, someone who could come and do counseling to these kind of children, or maybe conduct a session for the teachers as to how to deal with these kind of children, like what you all did.
Yes, recently. Yeah.
Very
yeah,
recently.
right.
And the teachers were so happy. I just read the report
Okay.
from one of
Yeah,
the teachers,
yeah.
and she said it was an amazing session.
Yeah.
So we have to thank.
Of course, all actually the philanthropists, the faculty members who say yes to come and help. I think all credit to them. To share their skills with everyone and keep everyone at equal levels. That's very important for our community to do. So I know that With Love has been associated with Epiphany School since a while, and I think we give all the credit to your daughter for this, because she connected me essentially with you. And then I remember my first meeting where I was trying to understand, what is going on over here, which you've explained right now. So how does NGO supports, and I'm not only talking about my NGO, I'm talking about any NGO, any community coming forward and supporting a school like yours. How have you seen it be beneficial to you or to the children?
Or like the session that you all had of Pehchan.
Yes.
Yes, that anger management, or expressing themselves.
Yes.
I think that was wonderful because children learnt a lot. And even the fourth graders, we have one student over here just now.
Yeah.
And even they were able to express things, which was amazing.
Yeah, because art was used as the medium. Yes.
And even the way you all have come forward and conducted a session for my teachers, motivated them.
Yeah.
So somewhere they also feel valued.
Yes.
That yes, what we are doing is not going down the drain, and somebody is appreciating it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also going to take this moment to thank the donors who came forward to adopt the education of the kids.
Absolutely.
It was so beautiful because sometimes we can't quantify as well as visually show them the difference it's making. I can show a report card of a child, but after a point, how do I tell you that you, and because of you, this child is even getting education today? That's like, there is no way I can show this to a donor except today make them realize that it's these kids who are able to carry forward their education because of donors like them. There are donors who would be okay to give food grains, and that also helps because if their families back home feel a little comfortable that the food grains are taken care of, the ration for the month has come, their moods shift, and that mood affects the child's mood in school. Like, there's a whole chain reaction.
Children were so happy last time when you gave those food grains.
Yes.
And the smile on their faces, and they were so happy about it.
Yeah.
And even the sponsors, when they sponsored a few kids, one of the 3 children, they lost their mother to cancer.
I know, I remember that.
And when I told their father that I have a donor and the donors come forward to sponsor all the 3 kids, that man cried like a small child. And trust me, I couldn't see him cry like that.
Yeah.
But that happiness that I saw on his face, the kid's face, was priceless.
That's what I'm saying. I cannot ever express to my donors what it means when they adopt education specifically, and that's why I'm using this podcast to make them realize that it really goes a long way. At least give them education. They will have a chance at life. Don't take away that from them. And is there a success story or a turnaround in a child because of a sponsor that you can share with us, just that it motivates others?
There's one child now, he's passed out, and today he's working in Barclays.
Oh my God.
Yes. And I have other 2 children they've not been sponsored, but they are part of my school, and they've come from a low-income background.
Yeah.
One of them is working at Credit Suisse. Another one is working as a senior cloud analyst at JP Morgan. And these are our success stories.
I have no words, but you say this right, because every time I have got someone to your school and they have worked with your kids, the first thing they come back and tell me is like, those kids are far brilliant than our kids. Every time, every person telling that is not it's really a legacy to leave behind. Your children are so brilliant, and even the annual concert, they come up with ideas.
Yes.
They come up with storylines. They come
Absolutely.
up with problems in the society that affect them, and they convert it into skits. Which kids in today's privileged schools are able to do that? It's very few. So your kids are super brilliant, and
Thank you.
I'm telling you, every time I've sent someone to work with the kids, they've only come back and said, these kids are just another level of excellence. And now that you have shared these success stories, it only goes to prove that.
Yes. I have another child who, through Teach for India, was selected to go to Italy for her further studies. And she comes from a slum area. For that matter, her father was into life imprisonment when she was in class 3. And her mother would work outside the court doing typing work.
Okay.
And she said during the summer break, there was no way she could keep the child. So, you have those cement drainage pipes.
Yeah.
So near her workplace, she would keep the child in those drainage pipes. Today, that girl is doing very well. She finished her 11th and 12th, the junior college in Italy. She got a scholarship to go to the US. She finished her graduation there. And now she's back in India working with another NGO.
Oh my God. It's like life's come full circle.
Yes.
And the other thing, good you mentioned this, because we don't allow a victim mindset. We are very particular about that at our NGO specifically, that even when I talk to the kids, even in labor camp kids, when we make them realize that this donation has come in, stationery is coming, we of course make them understand the gratitude that comes with it. But at the same time, we let them know that now it only means that the responsibility shifted on them to pass this particular act of kindness ahead.
Absolutely.
There is no victim mindset. There is no like, tum bichare ho, tumhare paas to nahi hai, tumhe to milna hi chahiye. Abhi, it doesn't end there for us. And we have never allowed anyone, right from our volunteers to our team members, to ever speak such language. They live with dignity. We treat them as equals, and we tell them, now what are you going to do
Absolutely.
to pass that kindness ahead? I don't want them to feel ki we are nobodies or we don't have enough. How are we supposed to spread kindness? You have a skill, teach it to someone. You're good in maths, teach the other girl maths. There is always a way out for kindness, So when you say this, that she's turned around and she's working with an NGO today, it's coming back full circle.
Absolutely.
Who else but them would value the importance of what someone did for them? And today they are doing it for others.
For that matter, some of our ex-students who are doing well and who feel for the school have come forward and helped students.
There you go.
Where they have said, okay, ma'am, we cannot pay the full year's fees, but we can contribute a little bit. And they've actually started doing it. And these are children who themselves struggle. But today, because they are well placed in society, they want to give back to the school what they received.
Wow.
So, which is amazing.
No, like kindness really goes around, and it has no boundaries. Absolutely. And I think the Epiphany School stands for this. And in my journey, I think my highest learnings and growth at the ground level has come with your students. And the minute I walk in today, they just run to my car and they just hug and they don't leave. And those are the reasons I feel I'm alive. There are days I'm having such a terrible day. And I remember my daughter also spending time with them, and she came home and she said, you know what, there's only one rule of life. Every time I'm having a bad day, all I have to do is go to Epiphany.
How sweet.
And that's when I realized that those kids have so much more to give than we think that we are giving them. We're giving nothing. Honestly, it's just a study.
I think the doors that you have opened for them, because I know every time I face something, I know I reach out to With Love NGO, and I know one person whom I can call and ask for help is Dimple.
Thank you. No, I'm just a study, and I will not hold myself back if I can, be of help. I will not hold that back.
No, but see, it's not just me, but I know even my staff, like whether it is Mrs. Rao or anyone, they say, ma'am, can we call Dimple and ask her about it? So it's like, we've become one.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Every time I also get an opportunity or some donor reaching out, my first thing is, Auntie, do you need this?
Absolutely.
It's not even, I think it's just the way I breathe now that I have to check with Auntie. So it goes both ways.
Right.
And, I want you to tell our community today about how they can help the school and come forward. And I and I don't mean through With Love. I feel like don't even choose an NGO. Just come forward and help Epiphany School. It's as simple as that. Nobody needs to go via an NGO for it. So can you just share a couple of points where they can come and, provide help or community service?
I think first I need to thank With Love NGO and Dimple for all the work that she's been doing in my school. And if anyone else wants to help us, you can come, spend time with our students, share your skills with them. If you want, you can conduct sessions for our teachers. You can come and teach them football, cricket. I think our children are very invested in sports.
Yeah.
So you can come forward and do that. If you're financially doing really well, and if you want to sponsor a child, you can come and sponsor a child. Or if you want to sponsor something for the classroom, you can go ahead and do that. And we would still love if it happens.
If you want to make us a Zarya, of course, we will go out of our way to make this happen and just ease the process, so to say. But, you've met ma'am today and you know the Epiphany School. You can Google it and you can just come forward and help them. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
As we come to the end of this conversation, we're reminded that change doesn't happen alone. It happens when people choose compassion over convenience and love over indifference. Thank you for being a part of the With Love community and family, for listening, for caring, for believing that Seva, when done with dignity, can truly change lives. This was one voice from our journey of 10 years, and many more stories await. Until next time, keep choosing kindness with love.